because without executive sponsorship, you can do all your effort towards data culture. And I've seen many companies, they're making an effort like, oh, we don't need to bother the executives. We're going to just do this ourselves at the trenches level. And we're going to do this like sort of grassroots and so on. You can do that all you like. You're not going to move the dial on being data driven, because decisions are being made at the top and they're being cascaded down. So if your data is not at the decision making stage, you can do data all you like. It's not going to get decision making. So data-driven leaderships needs to, first of all, need to be somewhat data-driven. And if they're not, there are ways to move them towards, and that's why we have leadership workshops, holding their team accountable, giving them space to do sort of basic analysis, maybe zero-based budgeting, many ways of doing that. But basically...
So what advice do you have for those? Because what you just said is right. But what about, what advice do you have for those employee groups that are right now trying to develop a data culture, and they're working really hard, but to your point, maybe they don't have executive sponsorship. Maybe right now it's at the employee level, and they want to serve it up. Do you have any advice for those folks?
Groups like that within organizations, there's a Tableau community, and there's a Power BI community, and there's a lot of grassroots efforts happening. I love community, don't get me wrong. I think community is what binds it all together. However, if you don't have your executive sponsorship, you're going to sort of remain small in that group. The opted in people will be like, okay, participating. They'll come for your Thursday night happy hour. They'll be there for your brown bag, but it'll be a limited impact. Maybe the BI and developers are interested and they'll be there, and maybe some data scientists. But the impact is not there unless the enterprise is able to use what you're producing, right? Because you're not producing data for the sake of it. You're producing that when somebody is making a decision of who to target, where do I spend my 100K, or whether I should spend some time in optimizing my conversion online or whatever else. At that point, they are using data, and that's where like when the executives are aligned and they are on board, and typically when we see success, in fact. Nowadays, we've done those projects as well where it was grassroots, don't talk to our executives, just sort of do the grassroots stuff. We've done that and we have failed. That doesn't go a whole lot place. Maybe we work with them in 2 quarters and nothing happens. At the end of the day, nowadays, we don't even sort of start on the projects unless there is an executive sponsorship. And the way we ensure that is the first thing we do is voice of executive. We work with executives to understand their vision of data culture and data literacy. Because and once we have heard them, they are able to hear us. Yes. Right? Because executives they're so fragmented, they're going from meeting to meeting. Every 20 minutes, their context is changing. They will forget all about you and all about your pitches or whatever else, and data literacy, we need to do this. Unless it's in the context of their work day to day, and they care about top KPIs. Their CEO is responsible to the board. And he's on the hook for certain metrics. So unless there are things which are tying to those metrics, he's not going to be interested. And you need to figure out ways and cases to where you can say, we need to do this because this will tie and this will move our top KPIs. And not only that, we will have a sustained mechanism of moving, not only optimizing decision at your level, executive management, upper management, but every level, because every individual will be then now looking at their own data, their own sort of flow. They know what they're working on, their KPIs are lining up to the top KPIs.